last one, let's get the.
Remember, we're recorded now, Chuck. Clean words.
Yep. Attached are the minutes for the November 20th meeting. We have a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Financial report. That's me. Profit or loss for the month of November. We got 2,300 in the Marcy debt recovery. We got unrealized gain of 51,000. Or total earned on investments of 58,000. Interest on loans of 11,000. Total income for the month is 72,000. Monthly expenses are in line with other monthly expenses. That's total 21,000. Net income for the month is $51,000. Year to date, you can see we got 19,000 in other income. Gain on investments of 362,000. Interest on loans of 240,000. Gross profits 648,000. Annual or year to date expenses total 323,000 or 325,000. I'm sorry, gives us a net income of 323,000. Balance sheet as of November 30th. We had 337 in the operating account. Our receivables, 5.8 million. See our allowance on the bad debts for 554,000. Our investment accounts total 3.5 million. Our current assets total 9.7 million. And other fixed assets, our total assets total $10 million. Liabilities, we get the long-term lease liability, 279,000. And that's our liabilities. And our equity is $9.7 million. Total liabilities and equity equal to total assets, $10 million.
All right, so for the customer loan report, so number 4 shows that 60 days past due. I have spoke to him, he's supposed to be bringing the check in by the end of the week. 22, spoke with him yesterday, and he hurt his back. He is just getting back to work, but he plans to bring a check in this week and next week.
Which one is
bringing
that?
it. 22, Miss Davis.
Oh, okay. So that is 14.
14.
Yep, you're right. So apparently I just was looking at something else. Then we have 20. We did send a demand letter. We sent one regular mail and certified, and it did come back.
The certified one came back. Not collected or something.
Not collected, yeah. And then, so I'm not sure if we want to start looking at writing that one off. Then we have 24 and 25. He will be bringing a check in by the end of the week. Also, I know one of the questions last week was about, or last month was the progress. They are set to open February 1st. He said there was a hang up with something to do with the city. I don't know. That's what he told me.
I'm blaming it on you.
They just applied yesterday for a special use permit that they need. And when it was approved, I mentioned at this meeting that that was needed.
Needed.
So, you know, I'm not sure it was a hang up, but we're working on that application, so that'll go to the planning commission.
He says it's a special use for, what's he doing? He's doing a restaurant bar?
Yeah.
That needs a special use up there?
Yeah, because it abuts the neighborhood district right behind it.
Okay.
Then we have 41, we sent, again, the demand letter, certified and regular mail. We have not received anything back, correct, Joy? No, I've seen.
But that's out of state, so I don't know how long it takes to.
I say it's been over a month at this point. 44, 45, that has been brought current. And then just as far as our pending loans go, Easy Tech did close, and then Pragmatic Solutions is closing this week. So that leaves us with 650,000 in pending loans still.
Pragmatic's closing before, just by this Friday, is what you're saying?
Yeah,
I think it's like
today.
today.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's today.
I just got the closing statement this
That's from
morning.
And then any update on 242 or,
Nope, I reached out to Michelle, she reached out to them, we still haven't had an update about that. And then as far as,
do you know, I mean, are they moving along over there or?
There's some work being done.
I'm just curious when we might have to be prepared to fund this.
We're actually awaiting a grant agreement.
Oh, that's still being worked through.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Michelle had said something like maybe July, or was that, am I thinking, oh.
you're thinking
the
of
other
the
one.
globe.
I'm thinking of the. Globe.
Yeah, that one I knew was up.
Yeah.
Okay. So those two demands, you sent them from here, there's,
So it's been over a month.
okay, and how delinquent is number 20? That's pretty delinquent, right?
Yeah.
What about 41?
That one would be even more so. Her and Don were back and forth, but I don't think there's been any communication with her since maybe like this, I would say like at least a year. And we would receive like random payments, but nothing that even covered a full payment.
And what's our opportunity, I mean, do we have collateral on either one of these two?
No. They were both one of the COVID loans that we did.
Okay.
And then when we asked the attorneys about 41, they said we have to hire the attorney in Texas because she's in Texas, and it'd be a
Costly
lengthy,
endeavor.
costly,
Should we just write them off and just do judgments? Send them judgments? 'Cause
yeah,
Peter can send judgments, right? That's,
yeah.
I should clean them up before year end.
just send personal judgments.
What are your thoughts? I mean, obviously, the
Legal fees are gonna be building up. At the end of the day, all you're gonna do is be able to sue them anyways. Sue them.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
There's nothing to liquidate, right?
They're unsecured.
Yeah, they both are.
The Factory Square, there's the building is not any kind of collateral there. So if it were to sell,
Well, the judgment would, but sooner we get the judgment on file, if it did sell, then you'd have to sell the judgment. So we're gonna need a motion to write off the 460136 for Factory Square and 89, 99, 80. Is that the final numbers, or do we still need to add interest or?
We'll have to add an interest and
Interest
then,
and penalties.
yeah, late fees.
So both of those to include additional interest and late fees, write it off and move towards collection action. I'll make that motion.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
On 14, you said you've had some conversation with him, he's,
Yeah, so we have communication, it's been like this since the beginning of his loan. Again, it was one of the COVID loans, and it's something that it goes a while, then we have a conversation with him, usually a couple get a payment or two, and then it's a cycle again. I mean, it's really,
Are we gonna talk about, going forward, what we're gonna do if we get into past few situations about, is that somewhere further in the agenda?
it isn't on today's agenda.
No.
But we, yeah.
I mean, my thoughts of, if we're gonna, you know, I mean, we're starting to see some of these, and I think there's really no incentive for them to be addressing these. We do have language in our notes that if they're in, we can claim them in default, charge a default interest rate on them, or even a penalty for the past due. You know, we may want to consider that moving forward in 25, adopting some approach to that might help address some of these past due issues.
Yeah, and I do think that we should bring back so we suspended the late loan fees. Because it's
That's what I mean, yeah,
I
the
do
late-
think we should be bringing that back. Because I agree with you, I think people are just like, oh, just kind of put it in the back burner, because we're not gonna charge them.
Do we need board action for that though, if that's already in our notes?
I don't believe so. When I implemented it back in 2019, I just sent a letter out saying, hey, we haven't done this in the past, but we are going to do this going forward. We sent a letter, I think like a month prior to us starting it again, but we didn't take board action then.
Yeah, so I would say,
I don't think you need board, actually,
Right.
because it's contractual.
Yeah.
contractual in our
It's in the
notes,
notes.
right? Yeah.
Maybe we send another letter just to, hey, we've kind of
Give a heads up.
got a little lax on this because of COVID and now we're starting to back up.
Yeah, because, I mean, you know, even though people say we'll pay it by the end of the week or whatever, I mean, some of these are beyond 30 days.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't have anything else on it.
I have a couple quick questions. So I was just looking through this yesterday. One that popped out was number 45, Country Grounds, use a $10,000 loan. I assume that was probably done as a $10,000 loan that you or Don just approved. You guys have the authority to do that, small
Yeah.
loans up to $10,000. It's in our lending policy, and that's fine, but I was just wondering, when those happen, can you just give us a heads up at the
Yeah.
next meeting, just to, hey, this, that is,
Maybe add them under loans committed to ones that you've done under that type of
Okay.
approval.
because so I started looking for the $10,000 original loan amount, and there's a couple others too that have popped up in the last year that just wasn't aware of, and it'd be nice to know 28, 35, 13. Just be nice to know what they were for and why.
Okay.
And so when I was looking at this, I was pretty sure that it was in the lending policy, so I went to the website quick, and the lending policy that's there doesn't have it in there. I'm scratching my head, so I looked at my electronic files and found a lending policy that had the,
Yeah, we adopted that a while ago.
I was like, yeah, that was in place before I
What I had
started.
was, this is dated 21, and it under maximum amounts of loans, D, CEO granted authority to approve loans in the amount of $10,000 or less. So it's there, it just wasn't on the copy that was on the website, so.
Recently, because it should be the same one that we have in here. Was it when you first were looking
You said you just checked the website yesterday.
Yesterday. yeah.
yesterday? Okay, so
Yeah,
we
because
need to
we
make
did
sure-
have an issue with our stuff not being updated correctly, which we thought we addressed it out, but we must have missed that one.
Okay, we'll make sure we have that.
We were trying to get it so we can just update everything ourselves.
But that
But-
one particular part,
It's a learning curve,
it's, we don't know, Coughlin's tried to show us one other part, but this is a different part. so.
We're slowly learning.
Anything else for the financial reports?
Just a quick side note, so when talking about, I know I talked to you a little bit about it. Number, okay, so number 11, we got a phone call from the landlords letting us know that they haven't been paying their rent, they closed the business. I did contact Peter and I'm waiting for his, some feedback on what exactly we should be doing. We did go in and take pictures and videos of all of the equipment that's there. So I'm just waiting back to hear next steps, but they are changing the locks and stuff like that on the space. So I just want to let you guys know that they are still paying us. We haven't had any issues with us being paid
They're
for that
paying-
month. And
paying
they paid
way-
way ahead and way more than they're supposed to. But just in case you guys hear anything on it, so you guys know.
We still have access to the landlords familiar with our,
Yeah,
uh,
they're the ones that
Collateral.
contacted us saying, hey,
Okay.
we know this is your collateral.
is this the one in the arcade?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I just wanted to let everybody know about that one. And I'm done talking.
All right, so can we get a motion to approve the November financial statement and the November customer billing report?
I'll make a motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? On the committee reports. Governance committee.
Governance Committee met on November 26th, and we reviewed policies and procedures that are listed in the minutes there. Ultimately, we decided that since the audit was right around the corner, that we asked Kylie to work with the auditor to review that policy and make any recommendations for changes. So the audit committee policy and procedure stands as is pending further work from our staff. The lending policy, we felt the same way about. We asked Kylie to make her recommendations for any revisions and bring those back to the loan committee. So we'll be looking at those in the near future. In the meantime, we are recommending changes to 2 documents. The first is the bylaws. And the first change that we're recommending is on page 4. This is in reference to the annual meeting. Now, interestingly, the bylaws as written speak to the annual meeting being held in December. However, there's no descriptor here as to what the annual meeting consists of. And so, Kylie shared with us that her vision was to use the annual meeting as a platform to report on the year past and the accomplishments of the year past, which could be tricky to do in December since you're still, closing out your year. So she recommended moving it to January, and we agreed. Now, we did talk about what does that do in terms of installing new board members and officers, but you're doing that early enough in the previous year. Your target's usually October or November, right? So we are recommending the annual meeting be held in January. And the other one was just some clarification and some cleanup of language on page 6 under Chief Executive Officer. You can see that, at the same time, that didn't really make any sense. So we've got the CEO shall be responsible for the yearly personnel evaluations of all other persons of the organization, period. There was a reference on here to the personnel committee looking at the evaluations from the other staff, and we don't feel that's necessary. That's a level of oversight that most boards typically don't do. So those are the 2 changes that we are proposing for the bylaws. Other one is very simple, the hiring policy. We just wanted to be sure that the word resources is in there. We just went through a hiring process, and we relied on some online, so we just wanted to make sure that that was reflected in the language. without being too specific, without listing out, you know, Indeed and the different sites. So those are the changes that we're recommending. Any questions?
Make a change to the bylaws, we adopt them, do we have to formalize those in filing, or do we just amend them internally?
I believe we just amend them, but I'll check with that. Do you have that?
That's all we do, we amend internally. We don't
Internally?
have to- mhm.
They might have to be uploaded to
Paris.
Paris. like-
That's, yeah.
But
Like
we're
in-
Oh, so we
getting
have
ready to do our
Yeah.
annual stuff, and it is, we have to go through all the policies every year, so.
Oh, so we have to
we'll
link
have
them
all
to the
that.
site and everything.
Okay.
And on the
But you're thinking of
bylaw-
like the charities filing, we don't
You have to do it?
that.
Okay.
At least we don't at United Way, I wouldn't imagine you would hear it.
All right, so we get a motion to change the bylaws to have the annual meeting being held on January of each year instead of December. And delete the sentence, the evaluations are to be reviewed under the personnel evaluations, and the CEO will be responsible for the yearly evaluations of all other persons of the organization. And the third change is the wording to resources. Where was that at?
The hiring
Hiring
policy,
In the hiring policy. We have a motion for those three changes.
I'll make a motion to amend the bylaws and hiring policy as described.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion is carried. On to loan reports. Bear with me, I'm lost here.
A lot of paper today.
Front and back.
There's a lot of papers today.
We like to save paper at the bank. All right, the loan committees. The first loan is for Jumping Goat drive-through. Hold on.
You want this one? You got it?
Yeah, all right. Excuse me, the Jumping Goat Drive-Through LLC, owned by Eric Russell. The business address is 468 Coffeen Street in Watertown. The loan amount's $40,000. Term of the loan is 5 years, with interest only 3 months for him to get operating. Collateral is the second position, all business assets, create a job, 4 over year 1, 8 over the next year. The project, source and use, you can see there, the $191,000 project, essentially for him to purchase the real estate on a seller's note. WLDC was providing him with some working capital to help him with the cost of the project. Essentially, he's going to be taking over the coffee shop there, previous coffee shop, the old Brouhaha, and convert it into a beverage facility selling energy drinks, coffees, stuff of that nature, and kind of putting his own theme onto it. He has projected revenues to support the debt He secured, like I said, by second position on business assets behind the seller note. And overall, its projections appear obtainable. And he seems like he has a very good grasp on the marketing aspect and is very passionate about building this brand of business at that location. So we're recommending this one for approval. Any questions on this one?
We were at the committee meeting, so you're with kind of the odd guy out here.
That's why I was looking over it. I was just thinking,
We had lots of questions too.
it had reopened for a while, right? Somebody had reopened it when it closed. Was that just like a rental
Yes.
situation?
Yeah.
I think actually it was a
Friend.
family member or friend of the current owners of the property.
Yeah, they try to reopen it selling like sandwiches and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, I just wondered if the projections were realistic. I know it's probably.
Black coffee, but yeah, we had similar concerns at the loan committee level, but ultimately felt the pros outweigh the cons. And
The individual that is sponsoring this was very enthusiastic. He's had some good history in the past with other business ventures. And
if something goes wrong, he's right next door.
yeah,
He's in here.
he's a tenant also in the building here, so. Yeah. So that seemed to outweigh some of the, projection piece that we were giving consideration to.
All right, well, you guys are comfortable with it? Sounds good to me.
All right, do we do a motion on
The
this
only
one?
thing that
Yes,
did we
please.
talk about seeing if there was any additional collateral?
So I did speak with him and we will actually be first position on business assets, not second.
Okay.
I just spoke with him, I think it was Monday, I talked to him, so.
All right, so note that's the
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, so that'll be a
First
change
position.
to this, yeah.
Because in their documents of the owner health note, there's nothing as far as taking.
Taking
collateral or
any
business
furniture,
assets.
fixtures, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, good.
And he's purchasing, majority of it is new, so it's not the existing septic.
Okay.
All right, so can we get a motion to approve the loan, $40,000 loan to Jump and Go Drive-Through LLC?
I'll make it.
Can I second it? Is that legal?
You can second
I'll second
it. All those in
it.
favor?
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, that's done. The second one, Sweet Hollow Bridal. This one here is to an existing customer that needs a little working capital. She does a good job with her business here in the square, the bridal shop. She's looking for a $40,000 line, or $40,000 term loan. $40,000 term loan, 6% fixed. Katie, who has been operating the business since COVID, she started literally the day COVID started, essentially. Has been owning the company and operating the company since then. The source it uses working capital, and we're consolidating existing WLDC term loan debt and providing her $33,600 new money for a total of $40,000. This will help her, again, cash flow wise. She's looking to do some improvements to the shop on an annual basis to keep up the atmosphere, so to speak, of the business. And of course, she's had expenses increase too, such as rents and stuff of that nature that she has to get her margins tightened up so that she can cover those going into the future. She sent in projections with her tweaks that show repayment ability for the 40. She's had the 40,000 with us trust for 5 years and hasn't missed a beat with us. So the loan committee has recommended this one for approval as well to provide Sweet Hello with some working capital for her business so she can do improvements and stuff of that nature. Any questions on this one?
My other question here would be, are we gonna be, it says second position, but it doesn't appear there's any other debt in front of us? Oh, is it? Okay, so there is. Okay.
Yeah.
So we would be second.
And we've been second throughout the process.
My only other question would be is, and I apologize, I didn't think of this when we were sitting at the committee meeting, but 2 months interest only, January and February, I mean, is there, does it make better sense to extend the interest only period into the next kind of her venue season? Is there a lot of weddings in January, February, and March? So should we maybe offer a little bit additional relief in there till she gets to that next season when she's increasing sales?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just thinking if it's a cash flow issue, would it benefit her to have a little bit more time on that idle period?
Yeah, I don't think it would be beneficial for her.
I guess we could approve it that way and offer it to her.
Yeah, because what were you thinking? as far
Well,
as-
I don't want to approve a 2-month IO and then 4 months down the road, she's having a hard time making the payment, so she's coming back to us to say,
3 months will give her June, February, March.
I don't know, is that when they really start in April? I mean, when does the wedding?
Proms and stuff of that nature.
Okay.
Yeah, they do tuxes and everything there.
Okay, so maybe kick it out that extra.
That's 1 extra month isn't that big a deal, and I'd
Okay.
say let's approve it.
Right.
Let's approve 3 months
3
interest
months.
only.
I
Give
know.
her the option, maybe she'll say no,
Yeah.
I'm good. But to Mike's point,
No, I think it's a good idea.
it's approved that way and you have that latitude.
Your big old heart is shining through.
Every now and then, it must be the Christmas season.
I was thinking about the Grinch and the heart.
Yeah, that was last week, you were giving me the Grinch one, yeah?
So can we get a motion to approve the $40,000 loan to Sweet Hello Bridal Formal Company? And I gotta set this one out because it's my loan.
I'll make the motion. Do we actually have enough to ratify this?
Yeah,
3 of us can vote it?
Terry's here for Steve.
Oh,
Terry's
okay.
here.
Oh, I'm sorry. That doesn't mean, I didn't realize that.
Yes, they can vote.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll make the motion.
Second.
Yeah.
All in favor?
All right.
Any opposed? All right, on to the last one. The last one is,
Bless you.
there we go. Last one is 302 Globe LLC. Guarantors David Wilkie, 5G Real Estate, 13G Real Estate, $400,000. Oh, boy, this isn't a loan. This isn't a loan request. Let me back up. This is a subordination request. The original loan, what you're seeing here is for $400,000 that we approved earlier in the year. The request of the subordination would be to Watertown Savings Bank to allow Watertown Savings Bank to do a $700,000 loan for the build out of the commercial space at the Globe, for the Globe project. Initially, he was gonna have a couple of people come into the building and they were gonna do the leasehold improvements. Since the time of approval hasn't come to fruition, but he has found a good commercial tenant that will occupy the commercial space in the first floor. but they asked for him to do the commercial build out, so, obviously he needs funds to do the build out. He's come to the bank for those project costs and to provide financing. This will allow the bank to provide the financing to allow him to do the build out, and that's going to be reflected in the increased rental income from what he anticipated. It's going to be captured in the increased lease amount. So overall, I think the subordination request makes sense. The trust will still be fully secure with a 1-to-1, is that co-proportional with the tank? It'd be
Yes.
co-proportional with tank, second position, on a $2.6 million building. And it kind of puts the finishing touches on that Globe project as far as having a anchor commercial tenant that would help boost the economic landscape of downtown, really. So the request is not new money, but to subordinate to allow the Watertown Savings Bank to provide them the new money and move your collateral position down behind that debt.
And it hasn't been approved yet, right?
And it hasn't been approved yet. We're working on that, but yes, in anticipation of Watertown Savings Bank.
So we should make this contingent.
Contingent on WSB bank approval. Yeah, good call.
Did,
Good to point out, thank you.
Did Jake approve? Was it approved?
That's gonna be going probably this week as well, but it went
Oh,
last week.
that's right, because there was a loan review. Okay.
The same process, so I don't know if it's today or tomorrow, but.
contingent on those two items.
Yeah, I would say yeah, because we're co-proportionate with them on their position in that class.
tenant?
I think he's not announcing.
Huh?
I don't think he's announcing it yet. I just spoke to him this morning.
Okay.
He's gonna be doing a press release.
Yes,
You know when?
that I don't
You
know.
can,
He was like,
I can't approach him, I gotta send him a text.
oh,
oh,
we'll text him.
I gotcha.
All right, so do we have a motion to approve the subordination of $400,000?
I'll make a motion. We're gonna need Terry again, right?
Yes. I'll second. First and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The loans have been carried for the month. What else we got? New business. Kylie, new business, check signer changes.
Yes, so we need to,
Yeah, you're following up.
yep, because you're deciding, to leave us. We have to have a new check signer, so it was decided at the governance committee?
No, we didn't discuss that at
Might
government.
have been loan review.
Loan review.
It was at some meeting we said it.
I don't
It's
remember
going to be
discussing it
Marshall.
at loan review either, but fine.
It was just
We
somewhere.
mentioned it, but I don't.
So
think-
internally, we discussed this, but wouldn't this, now externalize it, that's fine. What do
It's
we-
going to be, it's Marshall's that going to be the new check signer.
I think it almost came up with personnel.
Maybe that's where it was.
That's it.
Because Marshall is the, or we were going to have Marshall be the new check signer.
All right, so we need a motion to approve Marshall Weir as a new check signer and Chuck Capone to come off the checking account.
Yes. And you'll also be coming off as the trustee for the 401Ks. But we don't have to replace him because
Did
You
you?
already
added
put
me,
Sarah
because I was
on.
added onto it, it's me and Sarah.
Actually, we did that before, remember?
Yeah, we did that back in, like,
Modification, yeah.
August or September.
Okay. So I'll make a motion to add Marshall as signing authority on the account, remove Chuck from authority on the account.
I'll second that.
Seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? New business has been carried. Old business, Thompson Park update. What do you got for us there?
So at the very end of the packet, they sent us an update, just letting us know like what they've done over the past year. It does come off of the interest only period at, well, it's starting January 1st, their P&I payments start again. They have not requested to extend the
Moratorium on
Yes.
principal.
Thank you. So this is just an update, just so we had it to keep for our records, and we just wanted to include it in here. Just talk about the different programs they've been doing. They actually are the ones, they donated to, I don't know how much you guys have known of what our Facebook page we've been doing. But on our Facebook page, we've been doing giveaways and to strengthen our relationships with our customers. And theirs was this last month's giveaway. They donated a family pass to the zoo.
This one, right?
Yeah, for the month of December.
Kylie, refresh, so we did a moratorium, was it just on principal?
It's principal and.
And interest, they now are going to start paying principal
Yeah,
and
as
interest
of
again
January
January 1st. Okay,
And they haven't come to us with any request to extend it.
okay. And this balance, so we've just kind of carried it, this balance. Now, we didn't, refresh my memory, because it's been a little while. Did we put a moratorium on interest calculation for that period? Or did we just say, it's going to continue to accumulate interest?
It does not, no, it does not.
We,
Yeah,
okay, so the balance we're looking at is what they're gonna start paying
Correct.
principal this year. Okay. Well, I guess that's good news, that they're gonna now start servicing the debt that's still there, so that's encouraging that things may be moving in a good direction for them there. Good.
All right, is that it for old business?
we can do that after.
All right,
Come on.
so can we make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?